Hi, I'm Grant Nelson. This is my dog Bailey, and welcome to Mustache Off Grid. Got her! Bailey? Hi guys, it's Grant Nelson again here with the Mustache Off Grid YouTube channel. In case you're new to the channel, I cover various off-grid and homesteading topics, and I live off-grid in southern Missouri in a one-room cabin. So I'm just going to get into the topics here today, guys. You know, it's funny, I was talking last week about the trick shots that I do for the intro, and last week's took me hundreds of tries, and same shot, same place this week, and it only took me 5 tries. 5 shots, and I made it. So just kind of funny there. But anyway, I think I kind of got that spot down, so maybe I'll adjust it a little bit. But anyway, today I'm going to talk a little bit about living with minimal electricity off-grid. You know, I find that when people go off-grid, you know, I watch a lot of YouTube channels. I think we all do. And we all dream, you know, of going off-grid, or a lot of us watching probably do, or homesteading, or having a little farm, or, you know, somewhere along the lines of that. You know, I think is what a lot of the viewers tend to want that watch my channel, and probably watch some other channels as well. But, as far as it goes, I watch some of these channels, and the amount they're spending, you know, for the average American, middle class or even lower class that wants to go off grid, or, you know, maybe a younger person that wants to go off grid, you know, some of it's just completely out of the question, you know, for how much someone wants to spend to go off grid and spend on certain things. And solar is one of those things I see a lot of people really go overboard with. You know, people spend, I have a neighbor actually up the road, and this was probably, you know, maybe he's been there probably 8 to 10 years, I'd say, maybe longer. He told me that he spent, I think, 50 grand on his solar setup for his house. And you know, I was like, man, you know, you could literally just go off grid for 50 grand, but that's just your solar setup alone. So you know, he was actually moved out here from California. You know, I think he sold his stuff in California and moved out here, so he had a lot. But you know, it just seemed kind of overboard to me. You know, something like that. You know, nothing against it. It's a free country. If he wants that kind of a solar setup, that's cool. But that's a little more than I'm willing to spend. As far as it goes, I bought the Jackery portable power station when I first went off grid and came out here, and that was a really good option. It worked very well. It came with a solar panel that worked really well. They've doubled or tripled in price since then, as has everything. We all know that. But anyway, I have a very basic solar setup. I still have the Jackery. It still works. I charge it off a 25 watt panel now because the panel did break. So that means that, you know, it lasted about 3 years off grid, and it's still working, so it's still providing me a little bit of power. But I have a very basic setup. I have a Marine 12 volt battery, so that's a very simple thing. You can go to Walmart and buy one. They sell a 425 watt panel, 100 watt setup that hooks up to the batteries at Harbor Freight. That's what I have. I looked at the price online. It's Thunderbolt Solar. It's about $176 for the 100 watts. And it's an RV solar panel charger. I hooked that up to the 12 volt battery, and then I have a little jumper cable outlet. So I'll post a video here and just talk a little bit about that, that setup in just a moment. But I just wanted to talk about basically the only things that I use electricity wise with that solar is basically just use it to charge my phone, really. I use it to charge the GoPro as well. So phone and GoPro is pretty much all I use it to charge. Sometimes the 12 volt battery doesn't charge all the way, and I'll charge stuff off my car battery. Or I can, I have a gas generator that I charge my laptop on sometimes, because that just tends to work a little better for that kind of thing. But I would say from one full 12 volt battery charge, I usually probably get, you know, it usually takes about 3 days to charge it fully if I wasn't using my phone. Once I get it fully charged, it will last me probably weeks without having to charge it again for charging my phone. So, I mean, everything's on the phone these days. You can watch movies, you can call, text, email, use the internet. I mean, everything that you do outside of, you know, I mean, basically all the electricity you use in your house is all on your phone, if you really wanted to do it that way. And but one thing that I find is I tend to stay off my phone a lot more out here off grid, and that was part of it. You know, there's something about not having electricity and or having very minimal, and it tends to be a lot more peaceful. And you know, I feel like electricity leads us to a lot of temptation. Maybe we go on Amazon and we buy a bunch of things. You know, it kind of gets us into a worldly place where we're worried about everything on grid. You know, we're watching the news, we're worried about this and that. And I tend to find that the less electricity I'm using, the more happy mentally I am. Honestly, usually the more happy physically I am, because I'm going outside and I'm exercising, you know, and I'm working on my projects, and I'm focused on that stuff, and I'm not focused on the TV or Netflix or some movie or things like that, or Hollywood, or, you know, what, you know, all these celebrities are doing. And, you know, I just don't care about that stuff. I'm mostly out here in the woods. I'm a hill rod. You know, I like to hunt some deer. You know, I like to raise my animals, grow my garden. I got my water. I don't like, truthfully, I just don't like electricity, honestly. I mean, I have the minimal just to charge my phone, because mostly just to stay in touch with my family. But it was up to me, you know, I would love to get rid of my phone. You know, truthfully, one day, I think I have I've made it this week kind of a 10-year goal in my mind to get rid of my phone and car in 10 years. So that's just a goal that I made this week. I think that that's attainable, and I find myself always setting goals to be further off the grid. But anyway, that's just a ramble there. You know, I tend to have a lot of friends out here that are Amish. I buy a lot of wood from the Amish sawmills, and I cut some hickory for the Amish in this fall time, which will be coming up in a month or so here, and they sell it and give me a cut of it. But the thing is, they live a lifestyle without a lot of electricity. They'll use some gas to run their saws and things, but for the most part, they don't use any electricity, and it's because of the temptation it causes. And truthfully, I'm trying to live a wholesome lifestyle away from, you know, all the world and, you know, all the craziness. And like I said in some of my prior videos, I kind of came out here to secede from all the ridiculousness going on. I think we all know, you know, what I'm talking about. You know, I don't really have to explain it that much. But But anyway, that's just a ramble about electricity. My thoughts on it off-grid. I tend to actually read a lot more books now that I live off-grid. I tend to read more for entertainment. I had my talk last week on the moon and stars and some of the moon phases. And, you know, without electricity, you know, once the lights go out, you kind of look up at the stars a little more because that's the only natural light around. That's what people used to do back in the day for entertainment, you know, draw out the constellations and things like that. I tend to find a lot more natural entertainment out here. Working on my projects keeps me pretty occupied, and you know, hunting, fishing, you know, doing different things. I'm always working on something, and if I'm not doing any of that stuff, generally speaking, I'm reading. That's just how it is. That's just how it is for me. But anyway, that's just a little ramble there on the electricity. I'll add a little clip here of my solar setup, so that anyone that wants to have a very basic solar setup, this is going to be less than probably, I'm thinking it'd probably cost you around $400 to get it, you know, a pretty basic setup for charging your phone, which, you know, if you're going off grid, you know, it seems to me like that'd be a pretty good investment if you have the, you know, fiscal means to do so. So something to think about. I'll put the video right here in the talk show here so you guys can watch it. Alright guys, I figured I'd talk a little bit here about the solar panels here. This is my solar setup. It's very basic. These are Thunderbolt solar panels. They sell a 4-pack of this at Harbor Freight. I originally started with one panel, and that was pretty cheap. They were really only 15 or 30 bucks. And these things basically, they come with a charge controller. This is the one they come with. If you take good care of it, that could last quite a while. But I ended up having to actually buy a new one. This one is not too expensive, really. But basically, once you have the charge controller, the panels hook right to the charge controller. The panels hook together, and it'll have 2 jumper cables that you can put right on a battery. I just use a very basic deep cycle marine battery. They're meant to recharge because they're a boat battery generally. I think maybe RVs and stuff like that as well. Basically, they just have these jumper cables, positive and negative, which is very nice. Once you get a battery, you're going to need an outlet. You can make an outlet, but what I use for the outlet is, I guess it says NOCO. This is like a car outlet kind of charger. You can buy these on Amazon. They're like $6 or $7, so it's pretty cheap. You know, it's probably honestly worth it just to order a few of them. One thing I really like about them too is if for some reason your battery's not charged, you can also hook them up to your car batteries and things like that as well. Lawnmower batteries, any battery that has positive and a negative, which is every single one. These jumper cables can hook up to and pull juice. Now, if you have a broken car outlet in your car and you can't charge your phone, this can also be an option. My car's cigarette lighter outlet doesn't work for some reason, one reason or another. I tried messing with the fuses and that hasn't changed it, so I don't really know what's wrong with it. But if you keep one of these in your car, it can be a good way to emergency charge your phone. Also, if you're off-grid like me, and you can use like a tire air pump or a manual air pump, but I'll show you guys a little trick here. Alright, but anyway guys, if you get yourself one of these, I guess it's a Hyper Tough. This is a, it's a compressor that plugs into your cigarette outlet for your car to air up your tires. So if you plug it into the battery like this, you can get it to work. So that's another plus with these it's another plus with these outlet things. If you have a broken cigarette outlet in your car, you can get one of these for $6 or $7 on Amazon, and you can have one of these, which these are like 20 or 30 bucks. Keep it in your trunk or whatever. If you ever have a tire that, you know, maybe you can air up every couple miles, it loses air. It's a nice thing to have an emergency. I use it for airing up my lawnmower tires, any tire I can take that battery. I mean, honestly, you can carry that battery anywhere, and you've got a portable compressor as well. So I could take that battery and carry it down the hill, and I've got plug this thing in, and I've got a portable compressor. Just something to know. If you're off grid, you know, might be a handy thing. If you aren't on the power grid and you can't just plug in a compressor, you can get one of those hyper tough compressors for 20 or 30 bucks. You know, if you have one of them $6 or $7 outlets, keep it in your trunk or something. If you have a broken outlet on your car, just for emergency cell phone charge, stuff like that. But if you just keep a deep cycle battery like this is all the electricity that I use for the most part. This other battery over there I just found laying in the ditch, so I just grabbed it. But anyway, I think you guys kind of get the gist. You get some Thunderbolt solar panels, deep cycle marine battery, one of these outlets, and then you have a starter solar pack. I'll get the pricing for the video as well. Now just a couple other gadgets that I have, solar gadgets. This is a solar lights. They go along here, and at night they light up. I'll see if I can get a picture of them at night for the video. Yeah, they're pretty nice at night though. These lights really keep it pretty good and bright in here. Unfortunately, the camera is kind of dark, but I can see fine with my eyes. It's kind of interesting, but they're nice and bright. This right here is a panel that I have for a solar fan. But basically, these are solar fans, and you know, they're a little bit pricey. I don't know how much exactly. I'll try to get a price for the video. I do like them. They're not a requirement, but they are a nice thing to have in the summer when it's 100 degrees, I'll tell you that. So just a couple solar gadgets. That's all my solar that I have. That's all the electricity I use, is those three things. I guess I do have a solar well pump as well, which I showed you guys in another video. So anyway, that's just a very basic talk on my solar setup for you guys. Just figured I'd add, guys, I do have a Jackery portable power station as well. Originally, when I first came out here, I bought the 240. It came with a solar panel that charged it very fast in the sun. But I actually use one of these 25 volt panels. They sell this different head that charges the Jackery. Now, it don't charge it real fast. You know, when it's full sun, usually it'll get like 10 watts. It'll charge it, you know, generally takes 3 or 4 days to charge it, but I usually do keep it plugged in just as a backup emergency power source. When the Jackery is full charged, I can probably charge my phone 30 plus times on it. Other thing about that is, yeah, I mean, I use one of these 25 volt panels to charge the Jackery. So if you have a broken solar panel for a Jackery, that can be a much cheaper option than ordering a new solar panel from Jackery that cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Like, the solar panels cost almost as much as the actual Jackery portable power station replacements anyway. So just figured I'd mention these RV panels. I looked online. I think you can get a single for like 55 bucks. It looked like the Thunderbolt pack for 4, which would be 100 volts, or 100 watts, I mean, was 176 at Harbor Freight online. It's a little pricey. I think when I bought mine, it was half that price because I bought it a year or so ago. So anyway, just figured I'd mention, these can also be used to charge the Jackery portable power station. Don't go spending hundreds of dollars buying a new Jackery solar panel, you know, if you don't need to or if you don't want to. I mean, like I said, these do take a little longer to charge it. It generally takes a couple days to get it up to 100%, but it will charge it. So just figured I'd mention it. And that's a little bit of a ramble there, but the next thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about was the what should homesteaders and off-gridders and rural people and Americans do, you know, with all the conflict globally going on right now. We've got conflict in Ukraine, we've got conflict in Israel, we've got China circling Taiwan, we've got conflict in our own country. You know, what should homesteaders be doing at this moment in time to combat these things? And I'm not talking combat like fighting, I'm talking to combat and defend, you know, against some of this craziness going on in the world, the violence going on in the world. What should we be doing as a people, as a nation, you know, as homesteaders, off-gridders, or whoever else likes to watch the channel for entertainment? You know, should we be stockpiling food? Should we be, you know, going out and, you know, prepping and stacking bullets to the ceiling? You know, what should we be doing, you know, as people? And truthfully, first thing, you know, you should be doing is doing nothing without Christ. That's my opinion on it. You know, that's number one. Get some Christ in your life. Go to church, make some friends, have a real experience. You know, the country locked people indoors for a whole year, and you know, get outside, go to church and meet some people, and you know, maybe get in touch with the Lord a little bit. You know, that'd be my first recommendation. You know, don't go out and fight over toilet paper in Walmart. You know, go and find the Lord. That'd be my first recommendation. Prepare yourself. And, you know, I don't think it's bad to be a little bit prepared and, you know, buy some extra food, some extra bullets, you know, things like that. Whatever you find is good prepping items. I'm sure some of you guys watch those prepping channels as well. I watch some of them myself. And I think homesteaders and rural people understand what is going on in the world and why we need to be prepared for those things. But the main thing that I'm going to say is a lot of those channels are they're really fear-mongering. There's a lot of, you know, rah-rah, you know, and, you know, tyrannical this, blah, 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 that, you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, what I would say about that is, as a Christian, you know, you can't fear death. And you can't fear the world, and you can't walk around and live your life in fear. And, you know, it seems like today people are having trouble determining the difference between good and evil. You know, people go and they ransack a Target store and take everything in the store, and people support that kind of stuff. Or, you know, people tend to find empathy with the oppressor. They tend to find empathy with the tyrants and, you know, the people that are doing evil and immoral acts. But, you know, we can't fear that, you know, as far as it goes. The Lord's got his hand, and, you know, he shields us from that stuff. And, you know, like I said, as a Christian, I don't fear death. I look forward to that day because I know that I look forward to the time in the heaven above with the Father, and, you know, get to meet the Lord and see him face to face. And, you know, if you read your Bible, it's no more clear that we should not be fearful. And if you go to Timothy chapter 2, Timothy 2 chapter 1 verse 7, it says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind." That's Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." And if you go to Psalm 23, and I'm sure some of you guys watching the channel might know I do a weekly psalm every Wednesday. So if that's something that interests you, I read one psalm every Wednesday. Just a way to keep in touch with the Lord. But anyway, if you go to Psalm 23, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, and he leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." So that's Psalm 23. And it's one of the most known biblical verses. "Thou shalt walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will fear no evil. I will fear no evil," it says, I guess. And the last ones I wanted to read was John 14. So John chapter 14 verse 27. And this is straight from the Savior, the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He says, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again and unto you. If ye loved me, ye would rejoice, because I said, I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I." So Jesus himself told us not to fear. And the world's gone crazy, but as far as that goes, we don't have to, because we have no fear. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. God bless, and thank you for watching, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hey, come here, buddy. Sit. Sit. Look at you. Good boy. Hey, lay down. Lay down. Come on, boy. Lay down. Come on. Lay down. Come here. Come here. Yes, good boy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Well, guys, let's make this guy famous. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Mustache Off Grid, so we can make Bailey famous. And that way we can get him some more dog treats. Some good high quality ones. You ready, boy? You ready? Hey, you're already sitting. Hey, come out here again. Come out here. You ready? Sit, 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 sit. Nice catch, dude. We'll give you one more. You ready? You ready? Ready, boy? Hey, go out there. Go out there. Ready, sit, sit, sit. Nice catch. Nice catch. Good boy. Good boy. You ready? You ready? This is a piece of pumpkin. You ready? Nice catch, dude. Bailey. Sit. 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 Come on. Sit. 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 Stay. 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 Hey, sit. Sit. Nice catch. You ready? Sit. 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 Nice catch, dude.